My wife told our kids I was dead when I was deployed overseas for 8 months. The deployment orders came 3 days after Gina's miscarriage, our third one. She was already barely holding it together, crying every time she looked at our two boys, Yusef and Warren, playing in the yard. Then I got called into my CO's office. Emergency deployment to Afghanistan. They needed experienced combat medics immediately. 8 months, non-negotiable. When I got home, Gina was helping the boys with homework. I waited until they were in bed to tell her. She didn't scream or cry. She just went completely cold. "You're choosing to leave us when I need you most," she said. I tried explaining that refusing deployment would mean court-martial, losing our benefits, everything. "The boys will forget you exist in 8 months," she said. I didn't like what she said, but I figured she was just overwhelmed with anxiety. The first sign came 2 months into deployment. Yusef and Warren stopped answering my video calls. Gina always had excuses. Soccer practice, homework, playdates, normal stuff, except my 7-year-old had never missed our Sunday call before, not once. By month 3, my letters were coming back unopened. The Easter cards I'd sent, the little drawings I'd made for Warren, everything returned to sender with "no longer at this address" stamped across them. But Gina insisted they still lived in our house. She said the boys were just angry I'd left. "Kids process things differently," she said. "I didn't have family to check on them." Growing up in foster care meant Gina and the boys were everything to me. Her parents had died before we met, but her sister Hannah sometimes posted family photos on Facebook. That's where I saw the first real red flag. A picture of my boys in black suits at what looked like a church. The caption read, "Stay strong, little warriors." When I finally got Gina on a video call, I asked about the photo. She said it was from her cousin's funeral. I didn't even know she had a cousin. But before I could ask more, she said the boys didn't want to talk to me anymore, that they needed space to process my absence. Month 4, Hannah's Instagram showed Warren's birthday party. There was a man in the background of every photo, tall, dark-haired, holding my son's hand while they cut the cake. Gina said it was just a neighbor helping out. By month 5, that same man was in Yusuf's school play photos, front row, cheering. Gina stopped answering my calls altogether. When I managed to reach her, she'd keep it under 2 minutes. "The boys are adjusting," she'd say. "Don't confuse them." Month 6, I saw something that made my stomach drop. Hannah had posted a throwback photo from the memorial service. It was my son standing next to a casket, an American flag draped over it. The caption said, "4 months since we lost you. The boys are so strong, just like their daddy was." I called Gina 43 times that day. She finally answered. "What memorial service?" "The boys needed closure." My hands were shaking. I was standing in the middle of the base in 115-degree heat, but I felt ice cold. "You told them I'm dead?" She didn't deny it, didn't apologize, just sighed like I was being unreasonable. "It's easier this way. They've already grieved. They're healing now." I couldn't breathe. My chest felt like it was caving in. "Gina, what have you done?" "I gave them a father who won't leave. Saul proposed last week. The boys already call him Uncle Saul." Month 7, Saul was living in my house. I could see it in the background of Gina's sister's posts. His shoes by my door, his car in my driveway, my boys sitting on his lap during story time. The deployment finally ended after 8 endless months. As the plane descended toward Fort Campbell, I called Gina one last time. "I land in 3 hours." There was silence. Then she spoke, her voice completely steady. "You're not coming back home." When I landed, I went straight to military police with 8 months of deployment records. Every video call attempt, every returned letter, every timestamp proving I was alive while Gina collected death benefits. She must have been crazy for thinking this would work out in her favor, because turns out, fraudulently declaring a service member dead while they're actively deployed is a federal crime. Gina was arrested within hours. When they questioned her, she broke down and admitted everything. "Saul could give her more babies," she said. "After 3 miscarriages, the doctors told her it was likely my genetics causing the problems." Saul already had healthy kids from a previous marriage. She decided to erase me and start over with someone who could give her the family she wanted. The boys we already had weren't enough anymore. Getting my boys back felt like a dream come true. When I walked into that room, they both ran straight into my arms, crying and laughing at the same time. They both kept saying, "I knew you'd come back."